Want to steal data left and right type shit.
Yo, it is mad cold.
Bro, you see me in my robe. I'm glad you said something.
Cause
It's
like
the weather changed so drastically. I feel like
it's so
when I came
quickly.
back, it was like 80, consistently, and then it was like a light switch happened. Now it's like 60 on the max if we get that. So
Dude, it was 50 all day today here. The highest
not
we
with
reached
that.
was 57.
Not with that. Not with that. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, I was finished with the summer. All right, take that, take that, take that."
And it was a nice little summer weather-wise. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I ain't gonna lie, them like
Couple beautiful
90,
days. It was a heat
90
wave.
put, it was like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, dog. It was like
Mm-hmm.
98, 95, 101. I mean, I like I said, my electric bill went all the way to fuck up
Them
because
motherfuckers
I
outside
had
cooking.
all three ACs running 24/7. I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing.
The worst part about the weather change is like you see it across the country. Like it just start raining a lot. It gets dark and gloomy, and then I'm tracking this hurricane that like
Ian.
yeah, Hurricane Ian. They says ripping up Florida, pretty much the whole southern states. So
Mm-hmm.
just watching the flooding is crazy. It's like, man,
They were
we
saying that this is the first category 4 to hit land falls in like the last 20 years. I
hmm
wonder if the last one was Katrina.
let me see. It's
Because that
just
will
like
put it
all
at 2022, 2002. So like if it's
mhm.
20 years, Katrina happened. So I wonder if if it's kind of in the same vein.
Hurricane categories. It's just noticing all the natural disasters. Like we get the fires already, we get the severe rains. Now we get the hurricanes and flooding. It's like when the Earth is done with us, the Earth is gonna be done.
Man, it's crazy because like I think the earth is done. I think God's about to come back. To be honest with you, I think it's just like I think I
It's gonna be like in the Boondocks when Martin Luther King came back and he was like, "Niggas, this is what you did. I didn't go to the mountaintop for this." It's just like,
yeah, that shit was a funny episode. Shout out to the Boondocks because like yo, they really gave us some gems, dog.
oh man, and I'm so sad that the reboot is not happening anymore. Like,
If it wasn't going to be Aaron Magruder coming back to do it, it wasn't going to be the same. Like you see how they butcher shows now and shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
oh damn, something major happened now.
oh
You hear
no,
about all of these major like shows come back and they don't hit the same. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
like they can't do certain yo, listen, if you play the whole episode with Grandpa and that hoe and a pimp named Slickback, if you play
hmm
that joint right now, bro,
not even that. Just Grandpa in general, that character. Call me Mister
Stink Meaner,
Bitches. I got the bitches. It's just it was a lot
Uncle
going on.
Ruckus, yo, people would be heated, bro.
The way it played out was like when the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out, and then they talked about the Luther burger in the show, and then the itis, and it was just like, damn,
This is
this is getting
bad.
too
This is
real.
yeah, it's bad. Oh, you know what's crazy? Fucking what's it called? The Simpsons once again.
Oh man, they get scary with their predictions,
Fam,
man.
they got the Queen's year of death rate.
No, they need to investigate who's writing these episodes because they're getting too close. They had Donald Trump for president too.
They had mad shit. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this story right here, right? I don't know if it's the same dude, but I was on Creepy Pasta on Reddit. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start the story, but I want to shout out to the person who posted it because they do like audio stories or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So this came from somebody who basically was like they had died or whatever, right?
Real quick, the previous category 4 was Hurricane Harvey in 2017. And
Mhm.
that was the one that ripped up Texas and like pretty much had them all messed up. So Hurricane Harvey 2017. previous category 4.
Mm-hmm. Now that's crazy. Okay, so what was Katrina? Was she like a full-on 5? Then she was out here.
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't scroll back that far.
That
There's
shit
like
was that
hurricanes from 1920 in there.
shit. Yeah. All right, so listen. So it's by Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Spook. Mr. Spook YouTube. Now I don't know if the story is real, but it blew my mind because I sat here and thought about it, right? Because it's funny as you say, like who's writing these stories. So this dude basically, he grew up a Christian and he was doing some shit. I think he was like swimming or diving off a cliff or whatever. He blacked out. He found himself in a dark place. He found himself someplace where he couldn't see. And then suddenly this voice was speaking to him. And the voice was so loud and powerful that it was shaking the area around him. And he was like, "Who are you?" And the thing is like, "Well, you humans try to give us, a name as like angels or whatever. But if you really knew what we were, you wouldn't be able to understand it because your mind can't comprehend it." And he was like, "How come I can't see you?" He's like, "Nigga, if you tried to look at me in my full form, you would lose your goddamn motherfucking mind, my nigga. Even in death, you would go fucking insane, bro." And I sat there, I was
crazy.
like, and then he was just so fucking nervous and shit. And then the nigga was like, "All right, listen, nigga, like, I'm gonna bring you to God." So basically, he called him the All Father. And he was like, "You gonna bring me to God?" He's like, "Yeah, he judges everybody when they die." So the dude doesn't even register that he's dead. He's just like in this, because he can't see. So he's like, so basically what he do was I think there was a gust of wind and it brought him to another room. And then the dude basically said, "All right, I'm gonna dip out." He's like, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna get your sight, you're gonna get your sight back so you can open the door. And he was like, "Why? You're not coming in?" And he was like, "Nah," because he's like, the way that I told you that like you will go insane if you see my form. If anyone sees the All Father's form, it will happen to them no matter who or what they are.
Yikes.
So dude gets his sight back.
Okay.
And then he goes and he opens the gate. But the dude told him though, like, as soon as you get into the room, though, you're going to lose your sight again so that you don't see the All Father. So he loses his sight again.
Shit.
Then he's sitting there and then he feels a force fill the room. Okay. He was like, he felt his bones crushing. His whole, like, he can feel his whole body. But he's like, "I feel it being crushed. I feel this pressure. I am afraid." And then something goes, "Be calm, my child. You're already dead. Nothing can happen to you again." So then the nigga is like, "Who is this?" And the nigga's like, "Well, I guess you call me something," like, I'm just paraphrasing it in a niggly way, right?
Right.
He was like, "So I'm gonna change my voice though." So he was like, "Well, you have a name for me, and you call it God, but that's not really a good representation of what I am." So the homeboy sitting there, right? He's like, "Yo, what the fuck does that mean?" He's like, "Why in the Bible we read about you being this loving, caring, and all I fear is fear right now?" Because like, when he said when the voice spoke, it spoke as if it was a million whispers all at once. And even though they were whispers,
right? Oh, is that low? That's probably loud as fuck.
That's loud as fuck, bro. So he's just sitting there, bro. He's like so afraid. And then, he said the All Father was basically like, "Look, I was here before you niggas. I'll be here after you niggas." That's basically what he said. He said, "I was here before you. I will be here after you. I made universes before you. I will make universes after you. And I will destroy each and every single one, each and every single time." And he's like, basically, the reason why I'm doing this is because I am everything and I am nothing, even when nothing is around. I will always be. I I will never, ever, ever, ever end. And he was like, and it makes me angry. So I take it out on you. Yo.
Whoa. Because that was my question. I'm like, but why do you do this?
Yo. He's like, I've been doing this for eons, and I will continue to do so because I'm angry as fuck. So then the dude's sitting there, right? He's just mad at the fact he can't move on. He's always going to be there.
Wow.
So he's taking it out on this on. He's like, I'm taking it out on you. And the dude's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, his eyesight start coming back. And then he's like, look at me. I'm gonna allow you to look at me. Oh, bro. Shit. This all right, hold on.
Cause you got me, I'm like into it. I'm visually. So this idea I got already is like there's tiers. Like the All-Father spoke to the angel, and then the angel spoke to you. So it's like you can't even get to the level of what these other things are. So it's crazy. But go ahead.
This nigga was like, yo.
Now who's speaking? Who's saying this again?
This is that guy, right? We'll give him we'll call him Ron. So Ron's sitting there, bro. And he's just like, fam, when I looked at him, I saw the beginning, I saw the end. I saw everybody that I knew, and I saw everybody that I didn't know.
Oh shit.
I saw myself, I saw my kids, I saw my great grandkids, I saw my whole family, I saw my friends and their families. I saw every single historical event. I saw the past. I saw the present. I saw the future. I saw my death. I saw the death of my kids. I saw the death of my grandkids, my parents, all my extended family, and even people I don't even know whether they exist now, in the past, or in the future.
Damn. Oh my god, I got chill, bro. What is this? Is this an audio?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link to it, bro.
Shit.
And I'm sitting there just listening to this shit. I'm like, yo. And then so he's like, yo, after all of this, I look at him. He looked at me. He said, all right, that's enough. He was like, you had a purpose, and now you served it. Now I'm gonna send you back, and let's see what you do. This nigga said the next minute he woke up, the EMT had just been done doing CPR on him. And he was like, oh, we got a pulse. He's back. This nigga was dead, bro. And then he was like, what the fuck? And then he started fucking screaming. Oh, and speaking of screaming, we went back. So while the dude's looking, before God showed, the All-Father showed him his face, right? He was sitting there screaming at him. He's like, yo, what's going on? Are you serious? And he's just screaming out of pain, screaming out of anguish. And then the All-Father said, hush, child. He said while the All-Father was speaking, he was trying to respond back. He felt like his mouth was being kept closed by the unseen force. So now when he wakes up, dude is fucking screaming at the top of his lungs. He's manic right now, bro, losing his whole shit. They give him the drug that helps you calm down and shit that they give to people sometimes and shit. He wakes up in the hospital the next day. His family there, everybody's there. I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, and he was just like, all right, I'm gonna head out. He said he's never talked to his parents since the day he left the hospital. He said all his friends that try to hit him up, he said he doesn't speak to them no more. He said, I know their deaths. I know the exact day it's going to happen, and I know what's going to happen. And he's like, I just can't talk to nobody. He's like, I know every single thing that's about to happen.
Shit.
And even the All-Father said was like, yo, do you think I don't have control of all this? do you know I've scripted all of this just so I can watch it happen? And he's like, why? So I can watch you fucking destroy yourselves. Damn.
Jeez.
Yo.
Oh man, this
Bro.
hurts to hear.
And he's like, yo, I know everything that's about to happen. And it's just so crazy. What is it? So he said he started doing drugs.
I
He
mean,
started
what else
wilding
could you
out.
do?
He's like, he don't
What else
believe.
could you do if you
He's like,
saw
I don't speak to
if you had
nobody.
if you had the infinite knowledge of the universe but still had to watch it and go through it? Like, what could you do? What could you do? That's fucking crazy.
Now, I don't know if it's true. Obviously, I don't know if it's true.
Oh, that's just an amazing story. Like, even just you telling it to me secondhand is crazy. Like, I'm just.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link, bro. I'll post it on the.
He said I saw everyone's death, every people I don't know. So it's like everybody you see on the street is like, oh man, you got
You
like
know already,
4
bro.
more years
Like,
left.
think about that. Think about that shit for a second, right? Like, that's why it's funny when you talk about like who's writing for The Simpsons, because like it makes me laugh because it's like he was in a drug binge and he was just like, I'm gonna just write some shit. I'm gonna just leave some clues. I'm just gonna be out here for a minute. How long has The Simpsons been running for? Think about that for a second.
A long time.
And they're still hitting shit. I bet.
I mean, after a while, you might get 1 or 2 predictions here and there, but like, there's like a whole Wikipedia page of just like Simpsons accurate predictions, just from like big stuff to little stuff to major world events. There's like I don't know if it was real or not, but in an episode of The Simpsons on a newspaper, they had like a plane hitting the World Trade Center. It was just like, bro, what are we living in? Is someone foreseen those events and then has come back? But
that's why you see, when you said that story came up in my mind, because I was going to text you about it, but I'm glad you brought that up because homie, that shit. But you know what's crazy? And then like, I know what it is already, but like, I got to thinking about it for a while, right? I go like, maybe it's because I haven't gone through it, and I'm just sitting here really thinking about like how I have my personal relationship, with God or whatever, and think about it, and how I believe him to be or whatever. And I'm sitting here, I'd be like, nigga, nigga, I'd be like, yo, whatever it is, nigga. Just at least when this is over, at least allow me to just chill now. And just watch this all play out.
So true. It's
in the comfort of knowing I know it's going to end. Just let me relax. I just want to see how it goes. I want to see everything.
No, you're not wrong. And it's like I've been having ever since I got back from my trip, or even before that, and the trip just kind of triggered it. But I keep talking about it everywhere. Everybody I talk to is like, have you seen the James Webb's telescope pictures? We talked about it, and then seeing how big the world is when you go and travel and you visit, and then seeing these like natural disasters. You see how just like a big storm can come through and wash it all away. It's just like this life we're living is like organized chaos. Like these chaotic events that happen in such these strategic, organized ways to just make certain things happen so that either humanity or societies have to deal with certain things. Just like, is this real? Not even to be like on some like
so it's like
Matrix metaphysical shit, but like, is this real? Is this real? And it's funny because in that story you were saying like the All-Father is not allowed to move on and he's mad about it, but who's not allowing him to move on?
That's the wild
who takes his sight away so he can't look at? It's like this again with the James Webb's pictures. Is like, you see how big everything is. You see how like this universe, these galaxies. It's like you feel so small, and then when you feel so small, you have to ask yourself, like, does this even matter? Does this even matter? Is this even really real? Does any of this make sense? What we do to each other as humans, what animals do to each other, like what the planet does to itself, like just simple base level questions that's just like, this fucking doesn't make any logical sense. Like, or does it? Or is the logic to be illogical? You know, it's like the Fibonacci sequence. It's not a full circle, but that's like the perfect curve or arc or whatever it is. It's like, and then it's all over the universe. So it's like, is is the goal of this to not be, to make sense? He's just mad, and he's making us repeat these cycles of humanity, and like they say history repeats itself, but for how long and why?
You know, I think
Shit just fucked me up.
here goes the rabbit hole. Here we go. We are here. I'm just go full into it. I don't give a fuck.
Wait. You. If you're still here, I mean, you already know what it is. I hate to hear podcasts. This nigga Kev just fucked us up on the start. Like, Jesus Christ.
Hold on,
It's your boy. It's episode 42. Down the rabbit hole we go. It's your boy Russ.
It's your boy Kev. Like, yo, fuck these topics for a second. Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean, go off, because
I gotta full screen this dude thing right here, because like
I'm here for it.
If this whole thing is a game, or okay, so I feel like if besides what I already believe about God, right? That's my realistic view of how I think it is. But this is some wild shit. Like, if this was an option, this is an option. You know how like Doctor Strange saw 14 million
a bunch
possibilities?
Of different universes. Right,
it's like, right. I'm like, this is one possibility, I think, right?
Okay.
It's an experiment. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, what is that? Insanity.
That's what we have it as, textbook. Yes.
What if? When are we going to break the insanity of this experiment? What if free will is, you know how in experiments, like, you know, you need a question and you got to test it, right? And you got to do this experiment over and over and over again.
All the variables, right?
All to get all the variables out, right? And what if like each and every arc of civilization, it's a different variable, and that variable is knowledge?
I mean, if that was the case, why not make civilization's quest for knowledge our goal?
Because he gave us free will to choose it if we wanted to.
But then listen, okay, so I have questioned everything, like,
because you know why? He has to have a control group. So whoever he thinks did it, he like, because like if you have a control group that's basically like, I'm running it with these specific parameters because I think these parameters are correct. So this is going to run this way all the time, no matter what. This is the one where I'm going to keep changing the variables to see which one, and whatever his goal is at the end of it, whether it's to see who can break the wheel of insanity, or just to see like who can turn to like the good things, the compassion, the empathy, all of that. Who could break that cycle of, you know, like, oh, we could just make like the bad shit that we think about humanity that, you know, we hate to face every single day. Like, how do we get out of that? Who gets out of it quicker? How do they, or how, like, what are the methods that they get out of it? You know what I'm saying? How long do they let it affect them? You know what I'm saying? Like he could be trying to answer a whole bunch of shit.
I get it, and when we say he, we're meaning God, or I guess the All
All
Father,
Father,
as
yeah.
they
We'll
put
say
it.
we'll keep it All Father, yeah.
But wow, that's a crazy story. But like I was saying, it's like I got a tattoo. It says question everything, because just all of these things just lead me to more questions about each individual portion of it. It's like, okay, so you when I see such vastness, especially in that what James Webb picture, it kind of, not to say that I don't believe, but it shakes my belief in God a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't make humanity feel any special.
Maybe we're
Like
not
there
supposed
could
to.
be another, like you said, that control group that's really, they speak telepathy, they're compassionate, they don't feel no jealousy between each other. Like it's a utopian society, but it's like the the level of humanity that we live and at this moment is so far from that, and we literally talk about it every day. And I wish my dude Rich was here, because he talks about like this hive consciousness between humanity or across humanity. So it's
Yes.
like there was an experiment they did with like 100 rats, I think he was saying, where like this rat learned how to use a tool, and then I'm not sure if they let it out in the wild or just let it communicate with other rats or whatever the case may be. But then rats all around the world started to use that tool, because it was
Mm-hmm.
just like a collective hive mind between the breed of rats.
Animals.
I'm not sure the
Yeah.
whole details, but it just makes me question, like, is there something like that for humanity, that
Oh my
we're
God.
all across the globe feeling some sort of idea or feeling, and we can't break through it, so we keep going through these same things. And then meanwhile the earth is like, what if the earth is like on a countdown, like it can only go through so many rotations or something crazy like that. So it's like,
You know what's
where
crazy?
where does that leave us as humans, or for the future,
You know what's
or any
crazy?
of that shit?
All right, we here now. You know, I used to
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of studying about some wild shit back in my early days, and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful for it, because for some reason I feel like now where I'm at spiritually and how I really look at the world and shit, and how I'm trying to change how I move, so to speak, in in this world and shit, and like
Mm-hmm.
how I choose to really live my life and all that, like all that good shit, right?
I'm with you.
Um,
My main one was how I respond to shit now,
yeah, that's important.
because that's just, I feel like that's gonna be the major key going forward in my life, is just how I respond to
Yo,
these
cause
things
sometimes,
that.
bro, I be wanting to respond, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you something.
like
Yo, I
like
don't know. I don't listen. When I was always a quiet kid,
hey,
bro. Like I never really.
hey
But then, like
man,
sometimes I look at how I acted in certain situations, and I'm just like, what, nigga? I Come on.
shit could get crazy. Shit could get
um,
real. Shit could get real.
but like when we talk about like the control group, like there was one time I was reading this blog,
Mm-hmm.
and like, oh, it's the Hive Mind, but I want to talk about this first. So like
Mm-hmm.
basically like these people made contact with like another like race of people that live someplace else in the galaxy. And
Mm-hmm.
basically they said like, listen, you guys are actually the latest world to be going through what you're going through,
Mm.
because it's a test that all species kind of go through to see what are they going to do.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And whether they're going to work with each other, and then they can be accepted among the rest of us, and then they can get.
Oh, it's funny. I think my dude talked about this too. It's like there's a galactic foundation of
Like
species and
planets.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to go through these things as a race until you can get accepted into the Galactic Federation or so. I'm just saying that, but that's not what it is. But Yeah, I've heard of that. That'd be dope. That'd be
That'd be some
fucking
wild
ill.
shit.
Like
But like,
I'm with that.
and in the same blog, he was talking about like they was talking and they was like, "Yo, here's the thing though that got us kind of on like red alert." They was like, "Yo, none of us have ever created nuclear weapons." You,
Okay, I get
they
it.
was like, "You
You,
niggas
yeah,
at the
y'all
most
bugging.
basic." Like, first of all, we're all very high tech, obviously, right? But you niggas
Hmm.
are literally like in the Stone Age still. But for some reason, you have the nuclear bomb, and
Y'all got.
that just let us know that you have a propensity for violence that none of us have.
W- to speak to that, we are Neanderthals. We are just we keep evolving from the cavemen. I'm just saying, like, we're Homo sapien, they were Homo erectus, all of that back then. So they were just and they were monkeys. So monkeys are like a lot of ego, a lot of violence, a lot of aggression to get their point across. They're not very wordy and logical. So there's the previous season of American Horror Story actually touched on that, and it said that aliens actually gave us all that advanced technology. They weren't supposed to, but it's like an opposing group to that Federation thing. So it's like, let's go fuck this race up and make sure they don't join, because if they join, then this group will be even stronger throughout all these galaxies or whatever. So
Mhm.
basically, they said that aliens came down, and this is American Horror Story, which is fictional, but when you sort of like tie it into other stories, it kind of like makes sense.
Mhm.
Basically, they said they
It
came
works in the
down
theory.
when Ronald Reagan was president. They came down and gave us the atomic bomb. They gave us like the first prototype for like cell phones and cellular networks, like updated computers and a bunch of um flying
I think the
equipment for
atomic
like the
bomb
Air
was
Force
before
and
Reagan.
stuff. Well, no, I just think it was like a more efficient one. They gave us like a
Oh,
more
okay.
productive way how to make bombs and shit.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense that in that blog you were reading, it was like, yo, we shouldn't have this technology
At our level, we
at that
shouldn't have
level.
it.
Yeah. That's like in
He's
a
like,
video game when you
or
get the
you
cheat
should have
codes.
harnessed it for something else helpful, but you've been using it as a weapon, as like a
Bro,
fucking bargaining piece, not to
humans,
go to war with each other, bro. Like,
it, humans, the first thing we do, because we're fucking monkeys, is when we get a technology, we learn how to use it as a weapon, and then we learn how to use it for sex. Can we kill you with it, or can we fuck it? Let's figure out what is
yeah.
this. So hey, this is just what it is, man.
So
The
now
future is
about
gonna be interesting.
the hive mind.
Hmm.
So like one day, like I think it was like a month, I was just into this whole shit. Like, how are we all connected? Like, is it really like past life shit? Da, 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 da,
Hmm.
whatever. Even though now I've kind of made an amount, I'm gonna say a collection of theories and ideas about it.
Right. Take a little bit
Um,
from here and there and
yeah, and you try to
kind of
piece because
formulate your own
you'll
idea.
find something in the middle that kind of makes sense to you, so you just kind of
Hmm.
put a stamp on it and be like, all right, we'll see what happens. But like the hive mind thing is something that's been talked about for a long ass time. But in my
Hmm.
like, I will say this is like rabbit hole chronicles, right?
Hmm.
Um, we are all connected, or I was like researching, like we're all connected on like some type of form where like it's not something like a tool, but just the consciousness. Like we have a shared consciousness.
Absolutely.
And it's like
Absolutely.
when certain events happen, everyone's affected by it. And
Hmm.
not just because, look, think about it like this, right? If you've never gotten COVID this whole time, until you get COVID, you don't give a fuck. Why are you gonna feel
Hmm.
that? Why? Why? But if you see everything that's happened, every man that got passed, every single decision that was made everyone feel a certain type of way about the shit.
Right. Whether it
And you
was
know what it
anger
was? It was
or
all
something.
anger. It was
Right.
sadness. And even if that's interpreted in many different ways, those basic emotions are still being felt across the world. So
Facts. Shit is global.
like it can even like it can affect us in so many different ways. You know, that's what it says. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, bro, like you gotta just look at the world, bro. And you
And
gotta look
as
at
a
the
whole.
world when shit is in the fucking trash bag, bro. Cause yo, if everything's going, let's say like we had a couple of good years every once in a while, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but these last 3 years,
Bruh. It's been like there's been a crazy arc in the manga right now. Like this arc is gonna be like the I don't know, the new Revolution arc, or it's gonna be like the Dark Tournament. I don't really know. But to speak to
fam.
the Hive Mind, for people who don't know, a Hive Mind is like bees. Like
Mm-hmm.
bees and anything that lives in a hive pretty much. They all just have a conscious idea of this is what we do and this is how we move. So and so we do it for the
Day in,
hive.
day
It's
out, we
not
do it the
yeah.
same thing no matter what. Yeah.
So like there's this idea that humans have this underlying layer to our consciousness. And when I think of something like that, I think of dreaming. Like I think when people dream or they get to that REM cycle of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
there's a layer above our mental consciousness when we're awake
Mm-hmm.
and aware, that there's a layer above that, and then when we dream we go to that layer, and then everybody's in that layer. Like we're all in that layer when we dream. So you could warp it to be whatever you want in your space, and I could warp it to be whatever I want in my space. And then people say when they do like astral projection, they can see each other and go places and do
Mm-hmm.
things. So it's like it gets weird. And then I think that's kind of where sleep paralysis comes in too, because people say they
It's
see
both. It's like the thread between them being broken.
right, and then they
Yeah.
see other entities that may be like in that space too. So it gets deep when you start to just literally just question it, like have the question about it, and you'll just come up with shit.
And I'm gonna compound on that, right? So there's those people that believe
Mm-hmm.
like there is that second level of that, and then like there's other levels where like
Mm-hmm.
your thought can visually and physically affect the physical portion of reality, right? So basically they were saying like back in the day, like niggas was like so fluid with that going on, they could
Mm-hmm.
change their fucking heights literally. So that's why I said when you look at a lot
Mm.
of Egyptian statues, like you'll see people, get, you see like a dude sitting in a chair, or like, the woman seems smaller, or like things are all different in size to a certain extent. Like you'll see the same person on like hieroglyphics becoming bigger and bigger as they walk. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
they'd be like, this is actually just a drawing of the fact that, they could, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy.
It
I
all
know it does.
does. It all does.
But like when you think about like what
You
if we
gotta
really
peel it
could,
back.
bro? Mind
When
over
you think
matter, right? Like
the
think about
problem
that on a
is
yeah, go ahead.
the problem is it is real though. Like it's real. When these ideas aren't just new ideas. There's no new idea in history pretty much. It could be done in a different way, but it's not a new idea. So when when you were talking about moving things in physical, like if you remember Stranger Things in like the beginning when all those kids were in that facility
Yeah.
and there was that was real. That was real. That was called the Manhattan Project, and they actually did it off Long Island, right where I live, and they put people in this facility, the CIA, and they were trying to test out their mental abilities to see if they could, move things with their mind or
Mm-hmm.
read people's minds because they were scared the Russia was gonna do it first. Like everything at that time was like, we got to be Russia. So
Yeah.
all the stuff about going to the moon, we got to go to the moon before Russia. We got to get this technology before Russia. So they thought Russia was doing like mind control stuff because Russia was sending over so many spies, and the spies were like, you know what MK Ultra is?
Yes.
MK Ultra is like you're a deep spy, and then when you say a code word, then you're triggered and you commit your act, and you're like robotic. So Russia was using mind control for their spies, or so they thought, or or so it may be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Government, FBI. I know you're watching. Don't come after me. But so Russia was sending over so many spies, and the spies were so good. The government and the CIA was like, oh, they got to be brainwashing them. So we need to work on our brainwashing. So they put all these people and kids, and they put them on this island. They were testing them for these mental abilities, and then once the thing got shut down, everybody just like got sent out. Like, you just leave, like, go back home. The government will, pay you
reimburse you,
a
give you
little,
something,
and then
yeah.
you just go home. But there's this one clip of this black guy. He was like, yeah, they tested on me, and like you said, he felt every bone in his body, every like he got to this mental space where like every nerve, everything on him was like being wrenched out like a rag, like he just broke down. It was a big buff black dude. He had an army cut. He could like Guile from Street Fighter, but black. Yeah. And the minute he started talking about it, he just broke down crying, like right in front of the reporter. So he was like, the mental things they were doing to us in that facility was just beyond shit. So like, when you hear shit like, oh yeah, people were shape-shifting and aliens, like, bro, there's a layer to this. Like, it sounds weird and pop culture and nerdy, but if you peel it back and just ask these particular questions, like, you'll see some shit in there is true. And that's what fucks people up with conspiracies, is like, they'll take one little piece of truth and they'll wrap on so much bullshit so much,
yeah.
like fucking QAnon. Oh, they're drinking babies and they're fucking, like, okay, maybe there are billionaires who are pedophiles, who do have islands, of course, as we've seen, and there are politicians. Yes, that's all true. But then you throw on, they're drinking babies, and Hillary Clinton is the leader, and they're lizard people, and they're all in the bottom of a pizza parlor.
All of this bullshit.
It's like,
on top of truths that you just need to focus on. You already got the truth.
Truth was right there. The truth. You've got the truth that there are rich pedophile billionaires, politicians, CEOs all over this country. They're in our government. That is true. But then you just add so much bullshit. So it's just like, peel back the bullshit, bro. And bro, you'll see. And the fucked up part is, and I know I'm ranting, but I need to take a drink. My mouth is dry. It's like, the fucked up part is like, I forget. I don't know if this was Einstein quote or whoever, but it's like, the more intelligent you are and the more aware you are of all these things and pieces that are moving like all around you, the more prone you are to depression, the more prone you are to like personality disorder, the more prone you are to like realizing like everything around you is fucking fake. Like this is all like, who the fuck said this should be this way? Who the fuck said this is this? Who said this is that? Who everyone is just making shit the fuck up.
Yeah.
As we go. And the only way that it's working, the only way that it's working is that we all agree that this is the shit we're making up. If anyone who stops agreeing that this is all shit we're making up, you're fucking crazy. You're fucking losing it. We lock you the fuck up. Like I don't want to feel like Kanye right now, but I get it. It's like, if you are not within the means of thinking throughout society, like, get the fuck out of here. We ain't got no time for no one shaking up nothing right now. The earth and humanity is shaking up enough. If you are saying too much shit that's making people even get close enough to a thought that can get them like, yo, this is bullshit, get the fuck out of here. So fucking hate it, fucking bro, like, crazy, shit's bro. Fucking fake as fuck everywhere you fucking turn. Like, the fucking news is fake, the fucking music is fake. Like, there are human personalities that are fake. Like, if you scroll on Instagram, like, no offense, but like, I see these young bitches and they're all one person to me. They're all one person. Like, these bitches look like one person. I'm like, didn't I just see her? Like, all you bitches look like one fucking person. And I only say that because I look at women in that way. And I'm sure to women, like, niggas probably look like one person too. We probably all look like the same nigga with J's on and ripped jeans and a fucking like retro t-shirt or some shit. I don't know. We probably all look, but I'm just saying, like the fucking hive is buzzing. The bees are in the trap, and I fucking hate it here, bro.
That's fucking insane. But you know, I like to look at it all in the positive light though.
I'm
Because the thing is though,
trying.
but you
I'm
know what's crazy?
trying.
Even with all these theories and all these thoughts, and like a lot of it would make sense. Maybe the point of life is to just accept the bullshit and still enjoy what's going on right now in the moment.
That's
Like, yo, let's
that's the
for real. Think about it like
that's
this. If we all knew the shit was gonna end in like 3 months, right? I feel like that would be the
chaos.
most chaos.
Chaos in the streets.
Yeah, okay.
Chaos in the fucking
Well, okay.
streets.
In a
Nobody
perfect
be
world,
safe.
how I feel like it should be is like we should be like, you know what? Fuck all of it. Fuck all of it.
Really quick,
Fuck
I
money.
understand. I understand why the CIA has to hold back evidence from humanity. Like,
Oh, we ain't ready for
imagine
that shit.
we're not fucking ready. We don't even do good with what we know. We're sitting here debating if the earth is flat or not. You think they're going to tell us if there's fucking another celestial being outside of our planet? Like, shut the fuck. And then the religious people will say it's God or it's whatever, or it's because we're worshiping the devil. And then all the weird people are it's just gonna get a fucking out of hand. But
Now, you know
you're
what's
right.
wild
The
to
only
me?
way.
There's a scene in like the end of Eternals, right? And like the
Didn't
bitch is
watch
like,
it.
oh, okay, so like don't watch it, it sucks.
Yeah.
So like, so that's why I'm going to use that example. So at the end of it, she's like with her man or whatever, right? And then like this being just shows the fuck up, and his face is in the fucking sky. This nigga's not even like he's not even holding the earth in his hands. He's just floating above it, and you see this nigga's face. And I'm just saying, I'm thinking about, yo, what if it's really like that? What if
Yo,
niggas really pull up on us like that? And we start seeing all these faces in the sky, and you're just sitting there, bro. You're just like, oh hell no, nigga. Like,
like,
what if
oh,
we're in the snow globe right now?
bro, I had that idea the other day because I was thinking about Men in Black. Like, we're all on the universe of this little cat. And then there was that other scene in Men in Black where he went to this like train station and he opened the locker.
Men, that's Men in Black too. Men in Black too.
When he
Yeah.
opened the locker, they were like, "Oh my
Oh my
God, God!"
god.
It was like alien. It was a bunch of aliens in the locker, and they were
Yes.
worshiping the other guy who would open the locker and gave them
The watch.
no, he gave them the watch. He gave them a book of matches.
Yeah.
The first guy gave them a book of matches, and they were like, "Oh my God, he must be God. He gave us fire. He gave us life." And then he took the book of matches
No, he
and
took
then
the
gave them a
watch.
watch.
No, he had a watch that had a regular time face on it, and then Jay
Uh,
gave him his digital watch, and they were just
oh,
sitting there
right,
like,
right, right.
and
Oh,
it was
okay,
like, oh hell,
You're
Jay,
right.
oh hell,
Oh,
Jay,
hell,
oh
Jay.
Jay, can you see?
By the dawn's early
And then he's like,
day.
oh Jay, the greatest one. And then K closes it. He's like, whoa.
So it's like, I get it. Like, those aliens, you are God. You came and gave them a whole new way of life. So it's like they're so
If that nigga
small
popped
in
up in
that
the sky
world.
right now and was like, yo, what's popping? I'd be like, yo, you know what? Hey, nigga, listen, you saw what I was doing out here. What's up? What you
Bro,
got for me? You got eternal life?
bro, for real.
Like, come on, what's up? What's
Wow.
popping? Let me know. It's
That
cool.
story is crazy though. He said I'm angry because I have to keep doing this. So I'm gonna
I'm just gonna
eons.
fuck
How long
y'all
is
up.
an eon?
Nigga, we
Eon
don't
is like
even dude, literally Alpha said, everything that you think you know, you don't fucking know. You only with your little tiny fucking mind, bro. That's all you understand, and you don't even understand an inch of it, bro.
an eon is 500 million years.
And he said eons.
So multiple. And I thought about that too, like I'm just thinking about my place in this universe. It's like humanity has only just gotten here. Like not even
That's
just
that's
me,
yeah.
but my whole species from which I'm created, as far as the time frame of this planet, not even all the planets in my solar system, but just this planet is young. I'm younger. And then me personally, I've been on this earth, like I can't even make my fingers close enough to represent the amount of time that I've been on this earth compared
And
to how
and
long humans and the earth has been. So,
and let me deconstruct that even a little bit more. We
mhm.
made up time. What the fuck
Oh,
is
that
time?
too.
What the
That
fuck is
too. Oh my God. Oh
what
my
the fuck is
God.
that?
Oh
We
my
made it.
God.
We made it. Up. So we
Oh
say
my
an eon
God.
is 500 million years. What the fuck is an eon? We made up years.
Bro, so that's crazy. Like, even if the aliens did come, we would have no reference for them for anything. Like, we've been
Bro,
here for
our year could be somebody
how many
else's 36
rotations?
seconds. That's why
It
I
would
like
all
Interstellar.
it
Because
would have to be. Go ahead, go ahead.
that's why I like Interstellar, because it was like the Matthew McConaughey movie where like he was like, all right, we're gonna go to
Hmm.
this planet, do some research because we're trying to like, I think it was like some type of weird thing that was
It
going
was
on.
a drought going on, and they wanted to get find a planet to move to or something.
Yeah,
I
I
get my
think
movies mixed
yeah.
up with the space stuff, but
And then he got separated from the thing. I don't know, but he was
no,
on
you're
that.
thinking of um Interstellar wasn't Matthew McConaughey. That was Matt Damon, I think.
No, that was The Martian. Matt Damon was The
No,
Martian.
yeah. That's
Matthew
this is
McConaughey
why I
was
get them confused.
Mad
Okay,
Space Movies. Mad Space Movies.
for real, for real.
So then,
But really quick before like you ever notice like when a lot of movies come out in a row like that,
they're all
like
the
they're trying to
same.
tell us something, yeah, and they're like not trying to tell us. But
They're
anyway,
telling
go
you and they're
ahead.
not telling you at the same time.
Yeah, it's like they're getting us used to it through the movies and the TV, but they ain't really announcing it. But anyway,
That's
go
why
ahead.
like I don't want to see no if Thanos is real, that's just wild. But anyway, so
Mhm.
like what was I? So he was on the planet for like 15 minutes. He went back
Mhm.
on the ship. It was 40 years.
Yeah,
Or it was like six, and then even then further, it was like 70 years on Earth. So when he got
right.
back, his
Yeah.
daughter's
His
like
daughter, I
80
know.
something years old. She's on her deathbed, bro. And he's still
Crazy.
35 years old.
You could have another kid right now.
Fam,
Like,
bro, he had to watch all of the videos his children were sending
was
him
sending him, I
this whole
know.
time.
And she was getting older each video because there was a point where, and I hate to ruin the movie, but there was a point where like communication went down, and then when it got back up, all the videos were coming in. So you were just watching her like she was like 14, then she was like 22, then she was like 28,
Your
and
son
it just
stopped
kept
coming
going.
because he was like, fuck this. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
not
But she's
sending
showing
nothing
you
back.
pictures.
Yeah,
She's showing you pictures of him, his family's kids, whatever. And I think he passed
crazy.
away. And then like now she's like old as fuck. And you're 35 years old, nigga. And then you go back to try to find that other bitch. I feel you.
Crazy.
I
It's
feel you.
it's I mean, it's a movie. What can you do? But I mean,
Yeah, but we
speaking of the
created time,
future,
nigga. We created time.
we not only did we create time, we created the name for our planet. So we could call it something, and the aliens be like, "No, you're not Earth. You are 4J94X 39-42." Like,
Like what?
what do
Nigga?
you mean? This is a rock. No, that's not a rock. That is a solid mass of something. So it's like, all right, everything we made the fuck up. So everything, not to creep anybody out, but everything is fake. Nothing is real. Your life is a lie. Um, I did want to, since we were just going into the future and stuff, I wanted to touch on this one topic I saw on Reddit.
hmm
It's a Reddit called Futurology. So they
hmm
pretty much post stories and articles about things that are gonna progress humanity in the future, like prosthetics and cures and things that are just gonna get us further. So the article, it's pretty much about like the meat consumption in the, I guess, just the country, and then how that's gonna play out, because farming, especially for meat, like livestock, it produces a lot of CO2,
Cows
and
are farting up a storm.
yeah, not only cows but anything, sheep,
Yeah.
pigs, all that. So they're trying to get away from that. So it says lab grown meat, the next frontier in ethical eating. To produce 1 billion quarter pound burgers, so pretty much 1 billion burgers, it takes 1.2 million cows. And those cows have to live for 3 years in at least 9,000 square feet. So to make 1 billion burgers, you know how McDonald's say 1 billion served? To make 1 billion burgers, it takes 1.2 million cows for 3 years. Now, if you go with the lab grown meat, it takes stem cells from just one cow, and it only takes 1 month. And they can make 1 billion burger patties.
What else are they putting in it? Is it good for human consumption?
That's going to be the question, though. But
am I going to start looking like the thing?
We've got them around, though. We've got Beyond Meat, we've got Impossible Meat, we've got all kind of other vegan options.
The Beyond stuff, I ain't gonna lie. I used to get their breakfast patties. Listen, dog.
You the one who told me about
it sizzles like it's real shit.
Right. I had the Impossible Whopper not too long ago, and I'm like, y'all, you sure this is impossible? Like, this is kind of
this is possible.
So it's this is looking real possible. Not like just for the joke, but like with humanity, is like we could soon get away from eating meat because it's gonna take away the CO2, which they're always on this kick to clean up the environment now that it's too late. It'll revolutionize the because it's definitely too late. The farming industry, which it's gonna be weird to see how that works, but even if we just jobs, right? But that's even if we just
complain about,
say, if we do 70, if we eat at 80% meat, even if we take it down to like 60, just some decrease, it'll make a difference. So, would you be up for that? Like substituting a good chunk of the meats you eat for lab growns?
No,
I'll
be in that 60%. Because the reason why is because, well, you know what?
Because think about it, you got to do like your specialty,
at least now
briskets and
because at least now, like, you got options for like grass-fed stuff. I mean, you can actually go to a real farm and support that local farm or at local butcher shop that gets their meats locally or whatever, right? Without ever having to go into a store or whatever. So you can avoid that whole like packaging bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just that now you got to buy meat more often because this meat is not, I mean, once you freeze it and salt it the right way, you can preserve it, right? But for somebody like me who lives in the city, who doesn't have a lot of room, I can't have a freezer full of all this fresh ass meat. And plus, because of my high blood pressure, I can't salt a lot. So it's like, you have to buy it, very often. And it could be a little bit more expensive too. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, as long as I know that it's grass fed, I'd rather go with stuff that says it's grass fed rather than something that says they're doing on some other bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So until I could afford, I guess I can afford it. Until I actually made the decision to go ahead and be like, I'm only going to do local butcher shops because it's locally farmed, like locally raised, and it's going to be way better than me doing all the shit. I'll just buy more of it. Like, that's what I'm going to do. But anything, if you telling me you niggas is in a lab making this shit, I already
Right.
know what you do.
From
You brought
one
smallpox
cow.
over here, nigga. First, nigga, you did the Tuskegee experiments already. I know what you trying
Bruh.
to do to niggas.
That's a whole nother experiment.
So like, so I
Conspiracy.
know what you niggas be trying to do because this is what you motherfuckers do. You
The
always
government, bro.
always get into some shit, trying to figure out some shit, and you use it
Mhm.
on people. And most of the times, you use it on people who you deem worthless. Now, maybe not smallpox
Facts.
because that was just you trying to find a new place to go. But you should have understand with your European ass that you was not gonna come over here with all this shit. You was gonna decimate every single Native American that's over here because that disease is over there that will never over here, bro.
Facts. Facts.
Now you
Motherfuckers
brought it
coming
over here.
over. You know they don't wash. Motherfuckers, they carry that on for centuries. Motherfuckers don't wash their legs. Motherfuckers don't wash their hair.
And don't get me
But
wrong,
anyway,
when you think about the past and you think about like yo, this is why I like medieval shit because like when you think about war and how it used to be and how things used to
mhm,
be without plumbing,
bruh.
without all this other extra shit, bro.
Uh,
Bro, first of all, let's talk about war. Uh, you got all these dudes with heavy swords and
mhm,
clubs that gotta go fist for fist, bow for bow, right here in
fucking
these
getting
streets.
it.
They gotta
Getting
wear
it,
200 pounds of armor, but somehow the weapons that they're using is chopping through this shit. So you sit
bruh.
there, you're like,
And
first of
then
all, you
you
gotta
got
be
not
mad
only that,
strong, mad
you gotta
physical.
carry like a 70-pound hammer or swing or whatever the fuck you swinging, and then you can only see through like this little slot because if you get hit anywhere else, it's gonna chop your head off. So, bruh, it was insane.
It was insane.
Jousting, like what the fuck is jousting? Niggas would ride a horse at each other, holding big
With
ass sticks, and whoever poke each other to death first is the
whoever
winner, I
knocked the other
guess.
one, whoever knocked the other one off the horse is the winner.
No, it was to death. Like you could get knocked off, but if you
Oh
ain't
yeah,
die,
yeah,
you got to get
yeah,
back on. And
yeah.
remember that
Like
movie, The Black Knight with Martin Lawrence?
yeah, yeah,
Nigga went back in time and niggas like, "Where's the bathroom?" Niggas showed
yeah.
a nigga a bucket and a door. Just
Now you got to watch that, and you got to watch A
figure it
Knight's
out.
Tale with Heath Ledger. That shit was
Oh
fire too.
yeah,
That shit
banger.
was
Yeah,
fire.
yeah,
That shit was fire.
banger. But
But
yeah, the
yeah,
war
dog,
was
it's
crazy. We living in a modern
look at
time.
where we at right now, and like what we do. It's just like, fam, like what the
Humanity, man. We have all this potential, all these tools, and for some reason we decide to put NyQuil on chicken and eat Tide Pods and
what was the point that we were talking about?
just the future, like what the future holds if you would eat lab grown meat.
Yeah, man. It's just
And
I
do you
don't.
think America is gonna shift or find something? Because we're having a right now, I think there's a mental shift in consciousness happening in the country. And that's why everybody's getting caught up for old shit that they did. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see
yeah. But the
what the
thing is, though,
future
like
holds.
it's not going to be perfect because a lot of people are hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. And like
I mean, niggas ain't
I
self-aware
always
and they
say
don't take
this,
accountability. So
that, and I always say this, right? Honesty is the key to it all. If you can't be honest with yourself, then to start understanding yourself, then to start taking the accountability that you need. We at on the collective consciousness have not accepted accountability for the acts that we have put upon this world from the beginning of time.
mm-hmm.
Think about how many genocides that there've been in human history.
Bro,
Think about how many wars that there've been. How many times
nuclear
people have
bombs,
enslaved other people. Like think about all this
terrorism
violence, all this shit that we go through today. Sex
from the beginning
trafficking,
of time. I
the
know.
drug
Oh my
problem,
God.
all of this shit, bro.
From the
And think about,
beginning.
and it's this bad now, but think about back then, bro, when they didn't have all this medical attention shit.
Like,
And like
imagine
think
you just
about
live in a
how
village and you're like 8 years old, and then the Mongolians raid and burn your whole town down and take your mother and sister and like shit like that. Like it's insane. It's insane.
and we're just not taking accountability for any of this shit. And I feel like it's not in our collective conscious too. But when you talk about that shift, there's an issue because percentage of it is not genuine. So it's not pushing the needle far enough for it to actually shift anything.
Make a change. Yeah. But that's what happens is like it takes dramatic events. It takes like things to happen that people aren't really ready for to force them into that change. Like this
And
is like after 9/11, you had TSA and it changed the whole way everybody thinks about the safety when they're in a plane and the consideration of other people in a shared space. And then you get COVID and then it makes people think different about their hygiene and the shared
the
space and
work-life
then
balance, a
working.
lot of
Yup,
shit.
their
Yeah.
work, bro, your finances, and then what the government should do for you and what they are doing for you, like in times of recession or inflation or fucking hate it here, bro.
God, bro, this is crazy. This is crazy, bro.
But speaking of, did you see that PETA story?
Nigga,
PETA.
let me tell you something about these niggas, bro. I'm about to get mad violent here. PETA can suck my dick the long way, nigga.
PETA, the animal rights group, right? Because I just want to make sure we're not talking about a person named Peter.
Nah, PETA, dog. So this is what happened, right?
PETA.
And basically what happened was they put an article out or some bitch wrote a dumbass blog. It was some bullshit that came from the organization, right? And basically,
do you have it? I wanted to read it really quick. I'm trying to find the article.
I got you.
Did you send me a link or?
I got you. I'll send you the link though too. I got you. So I got two links here. I use Yahoo and I use shout out to Yahoo because ever since I made my
who
Yahoo,
uses Yahoo?
Dude, they got articles on there that you can check out. So PETA advocates sex strike to punish meat-eating men. And this is by Isaac Shore.
Hey, yo.
So basically.
So she wants women to stop sleeping with men who eat meat.
We all know them, the suburban men with beer bottles in hand, brandishing tongs while cooking sausages on their expensive
Oh, wait,
grills.
hold on. This is what she said?
This is the article. These
start over, because I'm offended at what she described was a meat-eating man. The what? The beer belly.
We all know them, the suburban men with beer bottles in hand, brandishing tongs while cooking sausages on their expensive gas grills. These barbecue masters believe that they can prove their masculinity to themselves and their fellow humans through their consumption of meat. Not only hurting
false. Stop right there. Stop right
but
there.
also harming the planet. Began Elena.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, because I want to touch on just that one sentence you said. This bitch thinks that we are exposing our masculinity because we cook and because men barbecue.
Hey.
Like, first of all, that's like saying a woman is not a woman until she bakes a cake or some shit. Like, how dare you try to reduce a man down to just making a fucking steak on the grill? And this is what I fucking hate about the battle of the sexes. Like, men keep doing this to women and women keep doing this to men. It's like once one gender finds something that they like, the other side just keeps fucking attacking them for it, and that shit is fucking whack. Like, I see it every time Call of Duty comes out, every time 2K comes out. These fucking bitches get online and they want to act like, oh, these little boys don't do nothing but play video games all day. But when these bitches want to sit in front of a fucking mirror and play and paint and lip gloss all day, and you look like a whole fucking different person, that's a whole different issue, though. Like,
I'll make it worse.
You fucking
these bitches watch people talk about their lives on YouTube.
Shit crazy.
Like,
shit crazy.
I know
you
we do a podcast
watching somebody outside.
Maybe that's what I'm saying, bro.
Like, shit is illogical, and then complaining about us being inside with you. Like, it shit don't make no sense. Like, we got to stop attacking each other on the things we enjoy. Like, that shit just fucking irks me. But you don't like men who eat meat, so you're attacking men who eat meat on the joy that they get out of cooking and preparing meat. Like, first of all, when you cook and you share your food, like low key, that's spiritual. Like when you have like a barbecue and you bring people over and you feed them all, especially when you know you made something good and everybody telling you how good your food is, like that's a confidence builder. That's a whole fucking like how dare this bitch thinks that she could just be the one to take that away from millions of men across the globe. Like niggas been like barbecuing meat since cavemen. Like niggas would go outside, knock that saber tooth over the head, drag him home, throw that nigga in the fire, and me and the wife and the kid, like you seen Flintstones, you know what the
We
deal is.
eating,
Like
yeah. Now we eating, yeah. We
I
eating.
fucking hate when people do this shit. And then to put it under like the guise of like we shouldn't have sex with them. Shut the fuck up. Like men already aren't having sex with you. I can hear it through the way she wrote. Like
Nah, but
she's
you know what's
either
crazy? No,
she's
wait.
either
Niggas
she's
are.
the
Niggas
no,
are.
but but she's either a raging lesbian or her boyfriend is some limp dick vegan dickhead that like read the article and was like, you tell him, honey. You tell him, like one of those leg transplant motherfuckers we was talking about last week. So I just don't fucking get it, man. Like let people enjoy the shit just because you don't like to eat meat. Now bitches can't get no dick and niggas can't get no pussy just because you don't like to eat meat. Like shut the fuck up, you fucking miserable loser. Stop trying to get nobody else laid because you're not getting laid. Misery loves fucking company, man. You have to be aware you're not that miserable person and you're not in the company of those miserable people. Fucking bitch, man. But you were saying?
Think I thought I was gonna go off. I don't even got nothing else to say because you said what I was gonna say.
Oh, did I? My fault. My fault.
Because you'll think about it like this, right? Think about it
It's
like this,
just
right?
like,
And
damn.
it's not even just about that, but it's like, yo, fam, like this is a thing. Listen, I'm not a red pill ass nigga, but there's a lot of times when these niggas sit here, they talk about how like sometimes, like a lot of times women won't take responsibility for their actions, right? Or take any accountability in the situation if it warrants it, right? We're not victim blaming, like we're not doing any of that. But there are situations where like if you had something to do with it, you got to take accountability for it, right? And I feel like when we look at things like the makeup industry and like, is niggas not supposed to fuck with you if you wear makeup now? Like,
Right.
where is this line that you draw to think that? So they
It's
do say in the
illogical.
article that like it was a study done and it was said like men who eat meat make up the majority of like the climate of adding to the climate catastrophe because
Okay.
of their meat
So
consumption.
not only is she saying that it's men's fault, but she's saying the whole industry is men's fault. Like there's not a chick right now eating a burger or a steak anywhere. It's just we eat up most of the meat, so it's on us. And
She said, you know what
again,
else? Somebody else said in the PETA organization that vegan men get more hits on dating sites because because compassion is attractive. And I just want to say this right now. And like, you know, I understand what Peter's mission is, but y'all can really suck my dick the long way. Like, like yo,
what get the fuck out of here.
I really like. Listen, I was
That's
in the car.
propaganda.
I was in the car with my girl the other day, and I was like, yo, I really don't hate a lot of things in life, but I really fucking hate vegans sometimes, bro. Because
Bro.
I'm like, yo, can you please shut the
It's like a
entire fuck up?
it's
Yes, I get excited when I have like a new cooking item that I can cook these steaks and these salmons and all these beautiful animals. Yes, you can tell me the name of this fucking cow that gave me this burger because I will give them the respect that they deserve, that they taste so good. Like, nigga, like, I don't understand. Why are you so worried about my life?
it's a
Especially
weird
when you don't even got your shit together.
bro. it's a weird, like they make it their personality. Like everything they do has to be enveloped in this thing about them not eating meat. And then my question is like, being a vegan doesn't mean you're a compassionate person. Where does compassion equal in veganism? Like you could be a vegan and then go outside and kick a little baby in the face right now. You could be a vegan and be a pedophile, be a serial killer, be a monster, be ignorant and racist, and you could still be a vegan. So I don't, that's just propaganda to say that being vegan means you're more compassionate. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just like
It's
people, they want to take your simple joys away. Like the simple, like this is, you're saying that men are eating most of the meat, but think about it. Like women aren't eating meat as much because the makeup industry tells them and the fashion industry tells them they have to be slim or they have to look a certain way. So now you got chicks out here with eating disorders. They're anorexic and they're bulimic and they should be eating meat and they should be getting protein, or she's eating salad, or she's eating things that aren't putting nutrients in her body when she should have a steak every once in a while for some protein and some red meat. So it's like, I get it. There is an overconsumption of pretty much everything in this country, but everything comes with a balance, and they be trying to swing the balance to like fucking ridiculous levels. Like, shut the fuck
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Shut up, Peter.
and it's just like now you're gonna have women weaponize sex, and
Bro.
I'm like, how often? And you know what's crazy? Like that's a form of abuse, first of all. So how many?
Absolutely.
So how women already have weaponized sex against men in so many different ways. How much more do you need, nigga?
Mhm.
How
It's
much
just
more do you need?
it's just
Because if
it's
we
gonna
put the
be
shoe on the other
horrible.
foot,
Hmm.
oh, you get banned off Instagram, YouTube.
Hey man.
And guess what? They're both wrong. They're both
It's
wrong.
just the balance, man. The balance
Y'all
is
really
like,
hate men. Y'all really hate men. I'm gonna just say it.
I
Y'all
mean,
really hate men.
don't get me wrong, like they have reason to. Like look at
Well,
humanity, look at
not now.
society.
It
They have
hold
reason
on.
to. But the balance is wrong. That's all I'm saying. It's like we're
Yeah,
not hating
balance
each
is wrong.
other at a decent amount anymore. Like the hate is different, it's just
Yeah,
different.
yeah. No,
It's
you're
just
right. Because
different. I wish
just
we
like,
were hating
fam,
each other at the normal amount.
I wish there was no hate whatsoever, and that we all could just learn to
Eh,
respect each other.
fuck
But
that.
like, nah, it
That's
would
not
be better
realistic.
though. Because yo, imagine if like you walk outside right now, there's no more murder happening.
You wouldn't take life serious then. You need to hate shit so you know what you love. You need people to sadly leave the earth so you know that your time here is more precious, you know?
But let me
It's
ask.
all this balance. It's a double-edged sword that's gotten way out of hand. Like now it's like people don't give a fuck. Like they're willing to, like kids are killing. Like kids in this country. This is a first world country in Manhattan right now in Harlem, shooting up places, killing little kids. You sent me a story of like this kid pulled up to a football game and shot
A
at other
football scrimmage.
kids.
I shot
Yeah,
five
it's
niggas.
like
Yeah.
so it's like people are, they don't take their life and their time here precious, but I get it because I have these issues too. It's like you feel like nothing matters. You feel like this nothing here is real, nothing matters. So it's like it's that fine line where you have to find balance. And shit's just out of balance, bro.
Well, let me ask you a
Out of
question though.
balance. Hmm.
What if it doesn't fucking matter?
And
And
that's the
and
irony
here's
is,
and here's the other side of the coin, right? Like, even though we can say like, yeah, it doesn't matter, but like, what if it does?
but
And
that's what I was
if
gonna
it comes
say.
down to it, and like you didn't, and you
Hmm.
just stayed
You
in
didn't
one
take it
spot,
serious,
and you
right?
didn't take it seriously, and you didn't enjoy the good parts, and you
And you
didn't
just
like,
fucked it off.
and you just fucked it off, and then now you die, and now you're looking at the All Father. He's like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, nigga, you was about to be all up in here, but like, what was you doing?
What
Guess what?
happened in
Now
that
you got to
other,
reincarnate and go do it again until you figure it out. Like, what if
bro?
it's the shit, bro?
But the thing is, the irony is like you don't know until it's over. You don't know if any of this matters until you leave, and then you get to the All Father, and he's like, "Yo, this shit matters, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like,
So you might as
this
well
is my
live like it matters.
experiment."
And
Like,
no, let me actually rephrase that. I'm gonna live my life like it matters. I'm gonna live my life as if an All Father / God does exist. And if
mhm,
one of those things is to just show compassion and empathy when it's needed, to protect my family, to raise, you know, a branch of this humanity out of myself that will, have certain values and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's if those are parameters, I'ma just do that, bro. Because it feels
mhm,
right with me. It feels right with me. And I just think like, but
mhm,
it doesn't matter.
mhm.
But what if it
That's what
does? That's the problem.
I
If
I
it
don't want to
doesn't,
play.
you damned if you
I don't.
do, damned if you don't. Like it does.
I didn't want to play devil's advocate, but like I'm with you. I'm with you too. I'm with you. That's how I'm living too. But when you see the other side of people just living recklessly and wild and lawlessly, like it looks kind of fun. It looks, and I say this
It depends
for a
what they
while. It's like
doing. It depends
right,
what they
right.
doing.
Like not if they strung out, slumped over in Philadelphia
Yeah.
somewhere, but like when you just look at people like just living their life like almost callously or like loosely. It's just like, damn, you look like you
Like
don't care about none
traveling
of the
all the time,
responsibility.
doing
Like
all
you
this other
like
extra shit.
not even that. People just like got a lot of debt. They don't worry about bills. They don't like
Oh,
none of the responsibilities seem to put pressure on them, and that seems freeing. Like it looks like
until you go to
you
jail.
just don't. Well, that too. Or you
But
get your
then
fucking
it's a three free meals a day. You get to work
right.
out once a day. I guess it still will work out at the end of the day if that was
Everything's
the case.
free.
You can still spend it and be
Jesus
like, all right,
Christ.
whatever, it is what it is. But I think like all that shit just sounds mad destructive to me. And I'm just like, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't
It's
I
not
but
productive at all.
it's not productive, but that is a good way to look at that is a good argument
I'm
because
just saying, I
I think
question
every
everything.
argument deserves to be heard. And then if it's some wild shit, you just be like, yeah, that's some wild ass fucking shit. But I think what you said just now, like that's like, all right, yeah.
It's deep. It's deep. What else you got, man? I'm gonna get out of here and try to get some rest.
I don't even want to talk about that shit. I don't want to talk about that shit. This I made Udoka shit, bro. It's the most wildest shit ever. So like,
Man.
it's wild to me though because it's like, we all up on Udoka's dick about his consensual relationship, which the woman involved who also agreed to the consensual relationship didn't get no
Hmm.
suspension and they don't plan on suspend her. But if it's a consensual relationship, it takes two people to tango. So why is one side being punished and not the other side? Now I understand some people
What did
saying
she do? What did she do?
she works for the
The lady.
organization.
But what did she do?
We don't know who it is. A lot of people have dragged names
Hmm.
off of the website and try to make assumptions. But
Hmm.
the Celtics never said who it was. It just came out like it was the wife of some VP. And I'm sitting here and I'm
Mm.
like, and I have two questions now.
Oh well, that is that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
If she is not on the actual payroll for the
Hmm.
organization, does that mean if you are the spouse of a high ranking executive, like a general manager, even a coach or something like that, are you also covered under those policies in the contract? Because that's just wild.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Because even if you're a third party agent, even if you represent the organization in any capacity, you get the
But you
same
never hear about
rules.
these niggas' wives.
That's why I'm asking, what does she do? Because if she's some high ranking thing and he's just a coach or some, because these coaches and players, they come and go. Like you could
They can
leave,
be
but
replaced.
if
Yeah.
she's like if this was Jeannie Buss for the Lakers, Jeannie not going nowhere.
Yeah,
Jeannie
no,
not
she not
going
gonna be.
nowhere. Jeannie is ingrained in that organization and that team, and whoever fuck with Jeannie is gonna be out easily,
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Like, so that's
100%.
why I'm wondering, like, what did she do? And then if he is her superior, then it would look like maybe he coerced her. You know how they say
Yeah.
that work balance kind of shit, quote unquote, even though it'd be consensual as
But here's the
fuck. But
problem. Just handle it privately. If you're only going to suspend him and not fire him, and then suspend him indefinitely, what's the point? You still got to pay him. Obviously, he's going to get a pay cut during this thing, but he's still getting paid off your budget. So why try to keep him there? Maybe you gave him, you know what I think it is? And they do this a lot in sports, I feel like. They give you a long punishment. Then
I was just
one
gonna
day
say,
they drop an article, it's been reduced to this.
yeah. I was just gonna say, it seems like they're either dragging it out until they figure it out, but they just need to say or do something right now. And then I guess they'll figure it out as the time comes. And what's not fair is if they're releasing that he did this, release this chick's name. Like, if it's consensual, she's an adult. Like, why are you protecting her now?
She agreed to it too. So it's like you have to take accountability here.
It's like he's getting all the flack for two adults. Granted,
now if they lied,
I mean, he lied because he's married.
Well, yes, he lied because he's married.
Engaged, he has a family, whatever. Yeah. He obviously lied.
And yes, he's still in the wrong 100% because this is a policy.
Right.
This isn't the contract. You're not supposed to be doing this shit.
You're making us look bad.
Suspended. Nigga, I would have fired the nigga myself because you knew what the rules were. But both of y'all would be fired because both of you signed that same contract. Both of you got to be the fuck up out of here. But here's the thing now. If that's not the case and the story is worse, you're going to make yourselves look like idiots because you didn't. Because instead of coming out and saying there is an incident right now, we're just handling it internally, and once we're done, doing all of our investigations and handing out our own penalties, we will release everything to the public. Like,
bro, once you said that, it mentioned it brought to mind the Ray Rice thing. He was the guy who hit his chick in the elevator, right?
Yeah.
So this is what they do. They don't say anything, or they'll say something light in the beginning, and then when everything comes out, then they're forced to make a decision. So I just Googled this dude's name, and apparently it's way more than what's going on. So they knew months ago that he was doing what he did and gave him time to like quit it before it became a story, and he didn't. And now apparently it's some other people on the team that are saying he had affairs with the travel agents, he was making unwanted comments to some other women. So, once they get you on one thing and they compile those other things, you get the boot easily. So that's a wrap. But people giving him the biggest L for fumbling that Nia Long bag, though. Like, talk about a gem, bro. Like, that's a hottie from the 90s.
There was a meme I saw, and it was like, this is Udoka and Nia Long right now. And it was the scene from Touch the Sky when she's arguing with Kanye. She's like, you know who the fuck I am? He was like, yeah, I know who the fuck you are. I just said your name. She's like, you know who the fuck I am? I'm Nia Long, bitch. And like, they argue. This is I was Udoka and her that night. And I'm like, damn, bro. But like, what's crazy? I think like, I just want all the facts. You didn't give us all the facts.
Hey,
but you did something. But you did something to make it look like you was moving. You know what I'm saying? But here's my issue though. All right, so you did this to a black coach who deserves it. Cool. Why are we not talking about Brett Favre stealing $5 million?
Hey, bro.
From welfare cases,
because that's
just to build his daughter's new volleyball at her university. You know what?
That's a good old boy. You know who his friends are. You know who Brett Favre's friends are. That's going away real quick. We're still not done talking about racism with the coach back, and when they text him that said you ain't getting a job, why you making me interview and all of that? Like, what
Oh,
happened to
we
that
never heard
case?
about that anymore.
Like, bro, these like I tell you all the time, these corporations are not human, bro. There's no logic behind them. It's all numbers and ones, and they will do anything that will help them save their bottom
No
line.
matter who's
So
in their way.
they gave this dude a year-long suspension. And then once this investigation comes out, he was inappropriate with the other chicks and all these other chicks, then he's really going to get the boot. And then he's not going to be able to work in the NBA. He's going to be coaching at some high school somewhere. So
if that.
bro, I mean, it is what it is. Moral of the story is, what's the moral of the story?
Just live your fucking life, man.
Live your fucking life. Oh man, you excited about Rihanna doing the Super Bowl this year?
I think it's gonna be fire, bro. I think it's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting any new music from her at all because I don't like listen, when you're a musician, like you can't tell me you're not recording for yourself.
It
You
would
can't
make
tell me that you
sense
have
though.
concepts. There are so many Kendrick songs. Like Swiss Beats and Just Blaze were like doing like a battle and like at a party, and all these famous niggas was there, and they were
I
pulling out
remember
joints that nobody never heard. And we
unreleased
heard all
half
these snippets,
verses.
and you just like, what the fuck, bro? Like you thinking to tell me that this woman has been chilling since 2018, and you think
Right.
she hasn't had, man, she got
I
bangers, bro,
mean,
but that's not her
she
vibe
was
right now.
pregnant in the meantime, but it would make
Yeah,
sense to
yeah.
put out something, a 3-track little EP, something, because then it's just gonna be all oldies. I mean, I guess that's cool. It's a Super Bowl, but wouldn't you rather put something for sale at that time when you're on the biggest stage, like
She
in the
might
country?
too.
Like
That's the thing. If you
that's
go
it's
either way,
only
she
right.
might.
You could catch a crazy bag. Like all
Like
your
she
old
just
songs is gonna go up, and your new shit's gonna go up.
you drop it the Friday before the Super Bowl. You'd be like, all right, see y'all on
Bro,
Sunday.
drop it while you're on stage, and then be like, so and so out right now. Say it right
Yeah.
at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But you already know what it is. I Hate It Here podcast. It's your boy Russ.
And this your boy Kev, nigga.
And we are climbing out of the rabbit hole.